Hey, geeks. This is Tori. This is Lauren Hawkins.
And when we're not eating our way through Denver,
Cherry ice cream. We're geeking on Walt Disney World with... Wait, you're supposed to say that part. We're geeking on the Walt Disney World with the whole... with Kurt.
And
the whole
Geekin family.
Yay!
That's hilarious. Lauren and Tori, thanks for your intro. You know, you don't have to get it perfect. That was a lot of fun to hear you guys out there in Denver doing a geek meet. Well, hey, Disney World geeks, this is Curtis Stone, and I'm welcoming you to episode 444 of the Geekin' on Walt Disney World podcast. This week, it's my trip report. Good friends and super geeks Wendy Fox and Samantha Kuhn ask me about my Grand Geekin Gathering experience, and I answer your questions about my G3 experience, including my resorts, meals, and my review of the whole experience. And I've been having fun chatting with Disney World fans and geeks for, it's almost 8 years now, and started the podcast with my daughter Lindsay talking about our Disney World trips. And then we brought on you Disney geeks to tell your trip stories. Our listeners are so positive, caring, generous, and they are experienced Disney geeks. You're going to get lots of ideas and tips for your next trip to Disney World from their real world experiences. We encourage a family atmosphere here. And before too long, they were calling me the Podfather, and I invite you to join our Geekin' family. We got an amazing private discussion group on Facebook. It's one way to get started hanging out with us. Just search for Geekin' on WW Family. You can ask your questions. You can share your trip pictures and engage with one of the best Disney groups out there on the internet. We're also independent Disney authorized travel agents with Fairy Tale Concierge. Fairy Tale Concierge is a platinum Disney vacation travel agency. So whether you're new to Disney World or you like to chat with us about your trip ideas and book with Mama and Auntie Judy, that's my wife. We call her Mama. You can call her Margita. Either way. They love talking to you guys about that trip you got planned, and they'll help you with those room reservations, dining reservations, get the whole package, get your family down to Disney World, and it's easy to get started. Shoot them an email at travelingtiaras@gmail.com, and Margita and Auntie Judy will get right back to you. That email is in the show notes. That's in that app that you're listening to the podcast right now. I always put their email, my email's there as well if you want to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about your next trip, but right now the featured trip report this week, a little different. I'm not interviewing someone. Wendy and Samantha are interviewing me, and they reached out to our listeners through that private Facebook group to get some great questions for me. And it's really common for us to compare our resorts. So you'll hear me talking about the Old Key West. I stayed at several resorts. The Grand Villa over Old Key West, the Riviera, my first time staying there, a new DVC resort. I was also at Pop Century. I do a lot of thanking to all the geeks that help plan these activities and the whole Grand Geekin Gathering. Talk about my meals, because that is a big thing I like to talk about. It's one of my favorite part of my Disney World trips. I try to keep a must-do list and things that I want to do for the first time. It's amazing at Disney World. You can do things for the first time, no matter how much you go down there. I think I did pretty good. I talked about how we were beating the crowds, surprise moments and stories that were happening during this event. I do some analysis with going through G3 by the numbers. Boy, they had some really great deep questions from our listeners. It was a lot of fun answering them. What's the future hold for the Geekin family in these events? They got some silly questions that were fun. My favorite memory takeaway from the trip, and a bunch of thank yous to everyone that helped pull this thing off. Well, I put a couple of hours preparing my notes and thoughts for this trip report. Thank you to Wendy and Samantha for having me on this podcast this week. I hope you enjoy my trip to Disney World.
Okay, so it's Wendy Fox.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so you can really do that, Samantha. Okay, it's Wendy Fox,
Samantha Kuhn.
and we're up here in Albany, and we are on a Zoom call with the one and only Kurt Stone, getting ready to hear his trip report about what he did over G3.
Me and Kermit are excited. I get to do my own trip report. Thank you, Wendy and Samantha, for doing this for me.
So the first thing we have to start off with before we go any further is what's G3?
All right. And you guys can help and chime in anytime you want. But G3 stands for the Grand Geekin Gathering. And, you know, it was 2018 where I first started with a Geekin meetup. It was at the Nomad Lounge, but it was kind of just a get together. And what really was the catalyst was when Kevin Curtis Allen, who's been a long time character in the Geekin family, and he hadn't been to Disney World in a long time, and he had plans for October 2019. And that's when everyone in the community started saying, we've got to have a big event. I think it was him that came up with the Grand Geekin Gathering, which turns into a nice acronym of G3. I really wanted it to be the Geekin Family Reunion, which I've tried to sneak in at times. That would have been my preference. But as many things in the community, I don't always get my way. Things just happen organically in a lot of ways. But yeah, Kevin Curtis Allen's trip has been a catalyst actually for all three of these that we've had now. So yeah, so it's an opportunity for us. It was something I always want to do in building the podcast in the community, was to have a live event anyway. So I was really looking forward to something like that. And you guys have all heard my history about going out to Disney World for conferences and the communities that I was a part of there. So that's how the G3 all got started.
Okay, so you were down there for the G3 in Disney World. How long were you there?
Ooh, was it 9 nights, I want to say.
Okay.
And I stayed. Yeah, this was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It seems like I've been doing all these roundtables, and everybody did a lot of resort hopping. And
right, exactly.
I certainly did too, so I don't feel bad because everyone was doing it. But Monday night, well, it was kind of fun when Wendy... Well, actually, the way it happened, I was walking downstairs one time, and Margita says, Wendy just called and wonders if you want to stay at the old Key West. She's got a grand villa, and she's got a bunch of people staying there. And I was like, yeah, if you're okay with it, I'm good with it. And, you know, as our trips always are, they always seem to get longer. Like you start with this shorter trip, and it always seems to expand. I had already been given an opportunity to stay with Chris Futrell in his Pop Century room for Wednesday and Thursday night. So that really helped kick off the event for me. And then you actually, I think, offered Sunday and Monday. And I was like, quite honestly, all through the theme through all this, I wasn't sure budget wise how I was going to afford this trip. We'll talk more about that as we get through how this, you know, just how the community helped to send me on this trip. And I ended up getting a room. Mom, of course, is the travel agent with the travel. And Tiara, she got me a room at Pop Century for Tuesday night. So I had the Grand Villa, Old Key West. I had a room. Travis ended up coming with me at the Pop Century 50s building on Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday, I switched over to Chris Futrell's room, which was a Pop Century. That was an easier transfer than the others, over to a preferred room on the 60s, right across from Baloo, which was really cool. And then Glenn, who was really the catalyst, Glenn Kessler, of helping me to pull this trip off, offered me his Riviera Resort studio Friday through Wednesday. So I came in on a Monday and didn't leave till the following Wednesday.
Wow, that's a good long stay.
It sure was.
So before we started recording, Kurt, I had asked on the Facebook group for questions for you. And there were two of them that were about resorts. Both Andy Hoffman and Noreen asked, which one of your resorts was the favorite and why? But now don't be influenced because Samantha and I are recording with you. That was the question.
And you know Samantha says, be influenced. That's her answer wisely.
Well, I'm a pretty honest person. So So it was really cool Monday night. Thank you so much, Wendy, for making that offer. I mean, to be a part of the solo ladies at the sorority house was pretty special. Now, I had spent some time at Old Key West, and I really like Old Key West because it's just got that laid back feeling. You got the beautiful grounds, the golf course, and the huge rooms. I've stayed at 2 bedrooms there, but I'd never stayed at a grand villa. So that's a first for me one night there. And to hang out with you guys, I mean, we just had some great moments, even just that one night. So there was a lot of great fun that happened just for that, coming in that first day, being able to, spend time with you guys, and all the G3 bingo that was going on, the surprise guests that showed up, the dinner we did over at Olivia's. It was an amazing first day. It was probably one of my longest days ever at Disney World, starting at 3:00 in the morning. And I always say Old Key West is that place that I would love to retire at, seriously, because it's on Disney property. It's a beautiful property, and it's just, checks all my boxes like to have a little golf course outside my room. So that was really good. But I got to tell you, Samantha, Riviera Resort, it really does trump Old Key West because of its location, I would say. And people are really talking about this, about its location and just the beauty. I really have an affinity for the towers too. And so glad that Disney has built the Riviera and added to the DVC offering. We're going to stay, Mom and I and Judy and Ken, for our anniversaries in June, we're going to stay at the Riviera in a 2-bedroom. So I'm excited about that. Glenn and I have talked about this on the roundtables. That Skyliner location just can't be beat. I love the tower, to be able to go upstairs. We were on the 8th floor, so you could really get a great view of even fireworks. And that's kind of why I like the towers, because of the view. Hate to say it, Samantha, but I hope you can understand and still be my friend. But
all right, we got bumped.
As long as it's entirely based on the resort and not the company, I'll accept.
Well, that first night with Glenn and Andy were pretty special. Yeah, if you saw the picture, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So all those resorts, that sounds like a lot of planning. So how did you go and get all this planning done for such a big event?
It's so easy. I don't have to do any of it. It's one of the things that makes this so special for me, just the community and the folks like you two, especially Wendy and Samantha. I got to thank you guys right up front. You guys do so much for the community. And of course, for this, we'll talk more about what you guys did. But the core group of people that we have on the Wednesday Zoom calls, I mean, we've been planning, we put it in air quotes for a year. Ever since the community decided that we were going to go for Kevin and Curtis Allen's trip. Well, actually, it was bumped when you think about it. His trip was bumped because of COVID. But so we've been planning it for a long time. We've got a good idea because of doing it twice in a row. We have a core group of activities that we've all settled on that we feel are fun for the community. So that kind of makes it easy. We've had people who have taken the lead on all of those activities and they plan them. So it makes it's just amazing how well it really comes together because of the past that we've, been doing this before.
So those core activities you talked about, we had those the first year and the second year, but this year there was a little bit extra added. I think, Samantha, you added a whole bunch of group dining reservations. How did that come about?
Well, we had done a few things last year and we were in, a much smaller group. But I think that we found, we had a lot of fun at our solo ladies dinner in 2021 and at our beer garden lunch on our last day. Mm-hmm. And those are just good opportunities to really get to know, not the entire group, but a smaller group really well. Whereas in the big, huge settings, our big meetups, you get to talk to everybody a little bit, but it's a little bit more surface level probably because you can't get to 70 people in a 30-minute boat ride around Magic Kingdom. So it was a lot of fun to see that grow this year. And I think it's something we'll expand upon next year and just tweak how we do it.
Yeah, so some of the things that we did in the planning and who did them, I just wanted to mention. I said we all had a goal to interact with each other, like Samantha saying, to socialize. To be at the same parks was actually a nice blessing that Disney kind of imposed on us, but that didn't matter for us because we always wanted everyone to be on the same park so we could do the kind of meals together, rides together, and some lounges or something together. So that really fed well into the plan. Of course, Samantha and Rebecca, the masterminds of the dining reservations and seating charts even. I mean, just incredible organization.
Neither one of us have had a wedding, but we're prepared for when the day comes.
It's going to be a doozy, I'll tell you. I've got people wanting you guys to break out into your own business to do this planning stuff. So, and they want to take stock in your company.
New company.
A very niche market, though. So,
Disney World planning.
Disney
World restaurants.
Large group Disney World trip planning.
Right.
Not many people are taking 100 people to Disney World.
Everyone really appreciate what you guys did.
Oh, for sure.
I want to thank everyone here too so Rebecca did the yearbook and the personal badges, which was new and really appreciated. Sisters Jackie and Selena planned the G3 bingo and virtual bingo cards, which was something we did in the past, and they did it. Mm-hmm. Wendy, you and Selena, you guys did the Quest for Geek and Glory scavenger hunt, which I know you felt like it wasn't going to be as good, but I tell you, all the feedback we had, I think your comment was like you didn't think there was enough history in it, but I think there was plenty. But that we got great feedback from. Thank you for doing that. Tony Ann and Mandy Ray did the dessert party. We'll talk more about that. Tony Ann did the infographics for daily activities. Look at all this stuff that people are doing. It's amazing. Glenn Kessler created the Kessler Run, which has morphed 3 different ways.
Kessler Run 3.0.
Exactly. And then I want to thank, Karen Daves from Mickey Files podcast that did the Flat Stanleys and raised money for Give Kids the World. So, okay. Now, you want to talk about food?
Oh, sorry. I was going to get that too. Yes. Absolutely. A lot of the podcast has to be about food, and I'm trying to get to all the questions that the geeks asked. And Glenn had said he tried so many new restaurants: Spice Road Table, Spacey 20, Storybook Dining, Steakhouse 71, Toledo. He actually listed them all. He wants to know, what's your new top 10?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get into 10, but I want to get into detail on my top 1. So I sorted this, let's see, by my favorites. I think is the way I did this. I got like 3 here.
And number 1 was Spice Road Table.
Yes,
Spoiler
it was.
Was it?
My favorite, well, especially for a new one. And you guys who listen to the podcast know it avoided me like the plague for so many years. First of all, I didn't think it was worth. I remember when it first came out, I was excited about it because it was on the water, it was in World Showcase. Morocco, whatever. I wasn't thinking much of it. And every time I walked by it when it first came out, it was empty. Like nobody was there. So I never got motivated until my listeners started talking about it. And it kept coming up over and over again on the podcast. But as you know, I only get one restaurant choice when I go with Mom and Judy to Disney World. And I tried they would block me and they would come up with excuses, and they dropped it. There was a whole thing going on for a couple of years, and my audience was getting upset with me that I had never tried it. And so, we really made a point to do that, especially my private VIP tour lady, Deirdre, that first day said, whatever we do today on the first day, she was bringing me over to Epcot to see Wendy. She was there with Noreen, and Judy and Ken were over there. She said, we're doing Spice Road Table. She said, don't eat at Mexican Pavilion. I had to skip nachos. I had my frozen lime margarita, but I had to skip the nachos, which was not easy for me to do because that's a tradition. But yeah, I did Spice Road Table twice. So that was... I
will say that was the one thing I feel I missed out on during this trip your first experience of Spice Road Table.
I know you were working. That's a real bummer. That does.
And it turns out you lied to me, Wendy.
About having
Deirdre
fun?
said you had a great time.
I was trying not to make you feel like, no, we're having no fun at all without you, Samantha.
I've had the same experience with the Tangerine Cafe geeks talking about it, and I'd never tried it. And when I did, I was just like, man, this is like one of my top places in World Showcase. Same thing with Spice Road Table. I'll tell you, a revelation from this trip, one of the big ones was just eating like small plates at lounges, especially with my friends. Sure. And, you know, when I looked at the menu at Spice Road Table, you know what? When you go to a menu, it says like dinner, breakfast, lunch.
Right.
You know what Spice Road Table says? Lounge.
Oh, okay.
I never thought of it as a lounge, but now that's even better, because that is one of the things I think we all enjoy the most, especially as adults going to Disney World. And I felt it more than ever in this trip. So here's, thanks to Wendy for picking all of the small plates for us, but this is what we had. And this is in the order of my favorites. So my worst favorite to my most favorite, house-made hummus fries. They didn't come out that good there or something.
They were a little dry that day, I thought.
So I put that one last. And then the spiced chicken, which was Ras El Hanout, mint yogurt, and what is that? So now I can't even say this stuff. But Ken ate all that.
Never made it around to me.
I actually had a little bite of it, but Ken was on the phone. It was funny. He wasn't even paying attention to what we were doing. He's on the phone with his kids, and he ate the whole spiced chicken plate. So that one, I'll put this. Then it starts to get a little close. But dolmas, the grape leaves filled with rice and herbs. I mean, I would say, marinated olives, which I like, but didn't really stand out for me. And then it starts to get really good. It's the spicy shrimp with chili, garlic, and peri-peri sauce. I love shrimp. It did it perfectly. It was fantastic. Yep. Another good fried calamari. I had this on the second time, Wendy. It was tender. It was fantastic. So nice. I had to add that. Some of these I had multiple times. I had the pomegranate chili crispy cauliflower. I'm sorry, Samantha, you didn't get a chance to have that, because I know how much you liked it.
We had that. We had that on our second go around. Your second go around.
Oh, you were there? Okay, good.
Okay.
You know what it says in the description? The sauce is the boss. Well, I think I put that part, but it's that was my part. Red pepper Aleppo sauce. That sauce, you could dip it in the next thing, which was the nana spreads or the nana bread.
Right.
We asked for extra of that, but I was surprised. I'm not a hummus fan. That was one of the reasons why I was kind of like, I don't know if I know they're going to have hummus there. But with the olive oil inside of it, and then the marinated olives, and of course we love bread service, so that's what we had. And then I had a nice drink, the pomegranate acai. Oh, by the way, where's my glass?
I have it. I'll try to remember to bring it in March. And I have coffee for you too. I have coffee in a glass.
I was wondering if my glass made it home. I love to get the souvenir glasses, and maybe you already heard our story, but Wendy went up to the server and asked if we could buy the glass, and he basically looked the other way and let Nori and I put it in our backpacks. So I'm excited about that.
So speaking of Spice Road Table, Jen Moynihan Wynn wanted to know if you liked it, which obviously you did because it's in your top group. And why did you break Jen's heart by going when she wasn't there? That was her comment.
I know. I know. There's so many people who love that place, and I know everyone was kind of in on the joke of me not ever going there. So Jen's such a sweetheart. I wish she was there. I wish, I felt like I spent a lot of time with a lot of different people. I felt like I did the best I could do. And I was thinking of some folks that I didn't spend time with that I feel bad about. But Jen and I had her brother and I had some good conversations. So I wish she was there. Maybe some other time. Okay. The other one that I'm big on, and that was interesting for me, was Ohana. So you guys know it's always been my favorite restaurant at Disney World. It checks off all my favorite things with kind of a barbecue kind of place so I was really nervous about this, although I got some pretty good geeks that went there and gave their trip reports about the new menu at Ohana without them being, the skewers. That's what made me nervous. The fun of the skewers and that thing. But I gotta tell you, I'm almost like saying it's almost better than it was before. And a couple of the reasons why are the chicken. Both of the chicken, the honey coriander chicken wings. I think the chicken wings were better than the original chicken wings. I never was a big fan of quite honestly, of the original chicken wings. And then I really liked the grilled chicken with the Polynesian inspired chimichurri sauce. And that was like thighs. And it was really, here's the word that kept coming up for the food this time was tender. And at Ohana, definitely that chicken was really tender. And boy, I could eat a bunch of that. That was really good. I like doing that at home now, actually, the thighs. So that was really good. The spicy peel and eat shrimp were fantastic. You know, some of the old favorites, the noodles, the Ohana noodles.
Right.
I mean, that always comes up as fantastic. That's still fantastic. The pork dumplings tossed in garlic chili sauce. But here's the tip. I learned about this after, and I thought about it before we left. I was talking to some of the people at my table. I said, you know what? We probably should have asked for the peanut sauce on this to see if they have it, because I missed the dips. That was one thing I missed, was the dipping sauces. But you can ask for it. I forget who it was,
but I think somebody had asked for it once and they didn't. They said no.
Yeah, it's hit or miss is what I've heard so far. So
no, the tip is to ask for extra dumplings, because Jeff Kessler was at our table and he asked for extra dumplings, and they brought him so many dumplings that we couldn't eat them all. And then he goes like, do you happen to have a box? And he literally brought home 2 boxes back to his room, 2 boxes of dumplings that they all snacked on. So the tip isn't the sauce. The tip is to ask for the extra dumplings,
and then
so you can bring them home.
To actually bring them home in a doggy bag. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that. There's always something like the noodles or something. You just can't eat so much. You think you can eat more than you can. And the other tip I'd say, which really, I had heard this before and we did it. The ladies at my table especially did this, but the first time they brought that wood-fired grilled teriyaki beef, it was pretty well done and dry. And then we said, hey, could you bring us a medium rare? And it was perfect. So the meat was perfect on the second dish. So definitely, if that meat doesn't meet definitely ask them, because who knows where it's been sitting out there. And so Ohana, check that off. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And the other thing I want to point out too is I've always loved Disney Springs since they especially did the revamping of it. You guys know there's so many of my favorites are down there. Well, I got a chance to do 2 new ones. And I'm so glad Samantha and Rebecca, they surprised Glenn and I. That was just
our act together and make it over to Animal Kingdom. We had too much stuff.
You never did make it over, yeah.
We were supposed to go to Animal Kingdom that day, but it took us a little extra time to get packed up because we had some logistical issues in our packing. So
yeah, like 12 bags.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something that really hit me, that I was like, wow, I love Disney Springs. I love going there with friends and taste around. It's like, treat it like it's a World Showcase festival almost. You can, again, the small plates thing came up. Like Polite Pig was one I'd always wanted to go to that I never did. And you guys know I love barbecue. And quite honestly, I didn't actually even have the barbecue per se, because I was saving myself for CityWorks. But we ordered a bunch of, there's tons of sides there. And we had talked about this. Glenn especially had talked about this. So here's my order of my favorites at Polite Pig. And I didn't have any of the roasted beets. So I think, Samantha, you ate all those, right?
They were good. I don't think I ate all of them, but they were good.
The grilled street corn. I don't know. I didn't have any of that. And it was a little different than what Glenn had talked about before.
I didn't either, but I think Glenn and Rebecca both thought it was meh.
Okay. Then the hop salt pretzel. Nice big pretzel. I love that. And they had an IPA mustard that was really good. They should have had more of the mustard because the beer cheese fondue was not good. I don't know why. So that's why it slipped to third in my list. But then the mac and cheese was pretty good. I had that. Right? And
mac and cheese was really good. And I consider myself a
connoisseur,
professional mac and cheese eater.
An aficionado?
Yes.
Mac and cheese aficionado.
That's right. It's funny how cauliflower comes up like on 3 of these menus that I ate at these restaurants. But barbecue cauliflower, paprika sour cream, and candied pepitas. But
pepitas.
The cauliflower was great there. This one surprised me. The crispy Brussels sprouts. And I think I remember having Brussels sprouts a lot as a kid and not being a big fan. But I'll tell you, when you soak it with whiskey caramel and it's crispy.
Anything will be good, frankly.
It's like candy. I mean, that was fantastic. That surprised me. And then we had a slider trio, so a little bit of barbecue with the Southern Pig, low and slow brisket, and some fried chicken on sliders, 3 sliders that were so tender. So those were fantastic. Oh, they had a great bourbon bar there too. So I've recently started getting into bourbon. I got to give a shout out to Brandon Haberman. He said, get the sweet tea old fashioned. So Glenn and I had that. So I had never really done whiskey or bourbon with kind of mixed drinks. And so I had a couple on this trip. So that was kind of something new for me. Really like that. Those were fantastic. And then CityWorks, I had to save myself for some sliders, that filet slider over at CityWorks. And my gosh, that place is my kind of place. It's a sports bar. Had, again, pretzel pieces. Jeff Opolka told me to try the Dragon's Milk, which is a dark beer. And that was really good. 11% alcohol.
Is this your last day?
This was
Were you
my
going
last
home that day or the
Yeah,
next day?
I was flying out that day. Yeah, that was my
Okay.
last meal before I had to leave and walk the full length of the Disney Springs and leave. So that was really good. A couple honorable mentions. Grand Floridian Cafe breakfast. That was a surprise. I think you guys, Samantha, you and Rebecca.
Yeah.
I think that came out
Dragged
of
you guys along.
That was my pick, and then I couldn't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
ended up-
that was your pick.
And I
then
ended up
you
leaving
early.
I ended up leaving a couple days early. That was my pick. I'm like, can you do Grand Floridian Cafe, which I missed.
I had been there for dinner, but I had never been there for breakfast before.
We've always talked. That's really great. And it's fun. And we had a good crowd of geeks there. That was a surprise. You guys, I think, was that a late night charcuterie board in your
Yes, that was
floor
an
idea?
Yes, it
So
was.
Your great inspiration, because that was a very nice surprise. I had the lobster eggs Benedict. It was funny. The server said something about the chicken and waffles, I think, that will change your life. But I'll tell you, that lobster's egg Benedict can change your life. That was fantastic. Another big favorite of ours. Space 220, first time going there. So I think it's really cool, that ride up and down. I mean, I thought I was kind of expecting more of a show from Space 220, but it was fine. That big screen, as much as I was able to see of it. I mean, it's no Rise of the Resistance, but I mean, it's a pretty good little show and idea and concept. I had the slow rotation short rib. Again, what's my word? Tender.
Tender. Okay.
That was fantastic. We talked about the calamari. Everyone talks about the appetizers. I had the calamari, which was really fantastic. It had cheddar grits, bacon, and some vegetables. So that was really good. Again, a great group of people there. So those are some of my.
Did you get a cocktail there? Did you get a drink there?
Yeah, I didn't write it down because it wasn't that memorable. I didn't do anything fancy.
Well, we got the
Cotton candy thing.
I got the non-alcoholic ones that came with those Space 220 cards.
Oh, okay.
They're like baseball cards. So if you got a non-alcoholic one, you got that. And sometimes people would get that and then they would add alcohol to it. So you must not have gotten one of those.
Nope.
And our waitress, I think, there was very nice and just handed us all.
She just gave everyone.
cards,
Yeah, she just gave it to everyone.
Qualify.
I wanted to mention something that we talk about a lot in the podcast, and I hadn't done it in a while, but we did Captain Cook's. I got the pork nachos, they were just as good as I always remembered them to be. A little different. They had the 2 styles of chips. They had that like triangle chip. I don't know what it is. To be honest with you, it's Hawaiian, I guess. I don't know. But then they have the regular like house-made chips, like the potato chip kind of thing mixed in there. That hit the spot, especially because we were starving. Before we hadn't eaten for a while, and then we were waiting in line for Trader Sam's. So that was before Trader Sam's, but that was fantastic. And the last one I'll mention, there were others. I did Olivia's, the Creperie, Steakhouse 71, but a lot of these have come out on the trip reports. But Storybook Dining, I had the cottage beef stroganoff. So I kind of went, I probably would have went with the roast beef there. What do you call it? The prime rib. But this was good. Tender. It was, again, tender, spatzel, vegetables, mushrooms. It was really good. So how's that? Did I get through that pretty fast?
That sounds good. And that leads us to our next thing, which is talking about the events at G3. So you were there for 9 days, but really the official Grand Geekin Gathering days were Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's when most of the events were planned, right?
Yes.
So talk a little bit about those events and how those came to be and what your thoughts are on them.
I love how this is part of the planning too, to set up these events. We talked about some of the things that people really spend a lot of time, but there's a lot of other little fun little get-togethers that are weaved in between. And so I did try to go on. One of them that I didn't think I was going to be able to do, I don't know if we call it an event, but I wanted to mention it, was the Disney on Broadway, because I love the live music. I love the American Pavilion. Those performers, and I meant to write these down. I spent like 3 hours going over these notes, and I forgot to write the performers down, but this was the first time I think I ever got emotional at a performance at Disney World, like from just the sheer talent of these people. It's mind blowing. And I love that when you get a really good performer who can sing, like especially singing. And Daniel and Norma Ginger, I look over and she's like bawling. Like that's what started me going, but just fantastic. They did a Frozen medley. The two performers really worked well together. It was a lot like Broadway, putting all the moves in and everything. So I didn't know if I'd be able to sneak that in. Samantha did this spreadsheet for me, which was fantastic. Samantha, it was.
And my one regret was not printing you a copy and sending you with it, because I hear you talking about your trips and you're like, why doing your coffee walks? What am I doing tonight? Why am I not going to dinner with you tonight? Where am I supposed to be? I'm like, he has a whole itinerary personalized to him.
I can only keep track of the day I'm at hand. I cannot memorize the entire thing. I have to look it up the day that it's happening, and even while it's happening.
You're on a need-to-know basis. Is that it?
Exactly.
Every day, need to know?
It's very complicated. You know, there are so many things. And that's one of the things I worry about, and we've talked about this, like let's not pack it too tight, but everyone has their own vacation that they're on. They can do and not do what they want to do, which seems to work out pretty well. I don't even have to say that. That's just the unwritten law. But I, of course, like to do everything that I possibly can. So some of the other things that fit into the grooves here was like Trader Sam's. That was a lot of fun. We've talked about that. The Petals kickoff planning meeting. I think, yeah, I'm so glad we did that. A lot of people get a chance to meet for the very first time.
That was Wednesday night at the Petals Pool Bar.
Yes, that is always, I was glad I was staying there. I was able to go back and forth to my room and give away little Geekin charcuterie boards and give some of the wine glasses that I had left over from the year before. Unfortunately, Andy Hoffman, I had to give him 2. The first one,
he broke one?
Yeah, he broke one.
The first one didn't make it through the whole night, but yeah, that was a really fun meetup for sure. Nomad Lounge. I guess that was on
that's on Thursday. So that's the first official day.
That was on the itinerary at Animal Kingdom, rope dropping that to see all those people just gathering and kind of making a few people upset. If you're, my apologies to anyone else who was trying to rope drop Nomad Lounge, because
we had that one couple that was trying to like weasel their way in ahead of us.
Well, I just asked them, I said, do you want to sit inside or outside? They said, we want to sit outside. So I went up to the front, like, are you guys okay sitting inside? So we took the inside, and that one couple who wasn't part of our group was happy they got to sit outside, and we think everything was okay.
Absolutely.
With the other people. Yeah.
Michael's ice cream truck is a lot of fun. It's always fun seeing everybody gathering together. I had that ice cream. What was the Kite Tails ice cream or something it was called?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the picture of it, and I wasn't that interested, and someone else got it, and I went, yeah, I'm all about that. That was really good. And getting the picture there. And everyone hanging out, just relaxing, chatting. We've talked about this, just those moments when everyone can be in a larger space and have some time to get to know each other. Fantastic. The Mickey Files Liberty Bell boat ride. Wow, that was pretty cool. It's really amazing how these things, you got these huge, we talked about the Nomad Lounge, getting in front of that, or the Mexican Pavilion, lining up at 11 a.m. for margaritas. How we pull this off is kind of a small miracle of G3 that we can get everybody kind of to take over the place. So to get the whole front of the boat at the Liberty Bell, I know Scott and Karen really enjoyed, that moment. also. People, they didn't even know we left the dock. It was so much fun.
I've heard that comment.
Yes.
Well, we went somewhere already. It was just, you got to talk to so many people. It was a great time that we're all a captive audience right there on the boat.
Of course, I like to have the Epcot day, which we moved to Saturday, which at first I was like, okay, do I mind? How does that work in with the thing? But we wanted to do that because we were doing the dessert party that night. So it all kind of logistically made sense. There were some people that wanted to do Magic Kingdom on Friday because of the way the schedules were going. So that little change didn't end up being a problem. It worked out great. Got my Epcot photo day, which was fantastic. We'll talk about some of the...
Wait, back up. So on Friday, was that the day of the Kessler Run?
Kessler Run was on Friday. Yeah. That's always...
So it's Liberty Bell. So then Glenn came in Kessler Run that day.
Yeah, it was fun. Glenn, I mean... Talk about getting up at 2:00 in the morning, getting into Magic Kingdom, and immediately getting accosted and hugging and Glenn's energy at the Liberty boat, and then doing the Kessler Run right away, and also I'm not going into detail of every single event because I could, but I mean that was just fantastic. That all came off well. I enjoyed doing the prizes for that with Glenn, so. That was fun. I got a lot of good time with Glenn. Him and I hung out a lot. I mean, we got to share him with the whole community, so I got to give him up a little bit. But him and I had some really good time together. I really had fun hanging out with Glenn. So him and I kind of hung out and did well. We didn't do the Kessler Run. We had spring rolls. We had spring rolls. We got points for that. We got points for that. I wasn't keeping track. I didn't think I could win. I got lots of Old Bay Spice, though, I can tell you.
Me too.
Got a lot of the extras. That was fantastic. The group photo day, that whole Saturday was, again, talk about a long day. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to save some of the experiences for the other questions, but the Mexican pavilion and the boat ride, getting all the geeks on the boats after, just filling in the Mexican pavilion with all of our geeks to get that outside piece. Cause we were like late because that pavilion really opens up now because of Frozen, like at 10:30. So there seemed to be like a long line there, but I couldn't believe that we took over that whole outdoor space near the water. I was like, how did that happen? I mean, we got some pixie dust running in our group for some of these things, but yeah, the last thing I'm just gonna say, the drinks at Dolly Lounge again, up there on the top where Toledo was. Mm-hmm. That was a fun night, just hanging out with people, doing intros and videos.
And that was something not really planned. That was kind of like an accidental event that just happened.
Yeah, I think Glenn had it in his mind because he planned Toledo, and he definitely had Dolly Lounge on there. It's a beautiful spot, obviously, looking out again off a tower, and doing the video for Rob Madiri, birthday. That came out fantastic.
It really did.
I forgot about it until he showed me the video. All right, there.
All right, so that's kind of like the base of the events. But looking back, were there some things that you did for the first time that were highlights of your trip?
Yeah, so I talked with people going to Disney World. You definitely want to have a must-do list. So here's some of my must-dos that I'm really proud of. Of course, I missed several of them, but some of the ones that I did. Well, this was the first time ever, guys, that I ever watched the fireworks from a Disney World bathroom. Think that through for a minute.
Okay.
Again,
I don't think many people have that on their must-do list.
Correct. Well, actually, I didn't have that on my must-do list, but I just thought that was kind of funny. The Dolly Lounge men's room has a perfect view of the harmonious fireworks. You can actually go and watch the fireworks at the same time if you turn your head to the left. So we got a good chuckle out of that. Matter of fact, it was funny because I was like, I just had two perspectives of harmonious fireworks, which I'd never seen before. That was a must-do. I saw it the day before at the dessert party, right up close, the best kind of view you could possibly have with all your friends. Amazing experience. The very next night, we're up at Dolly Lounge, and I'm going to the bathroom, watching the fireworks from a distance. So I just thought that was hysterical. Yeah. Anyways, polite pig, and I wanted to do the sweet tea old fashioned. Shout out to Brandon Hammerman. I don't know why I attributed this to you, Samantha, but I had it in my notes. Wookie cookie.
Because I've been trying to get a Wookiee cookie and it keeps escaping me. So
you
don't let
haven't
me
done
forget, Wendy. On our April trip, that's on my
Wookiee cookie.
must-do list.
All right, I got it. I'm writing it down right now.
I'm really proud of that must do, because I don't know when it popped into my head, but when you guys were doing the prizes, when we came out of it was Hollywood Studios Day, so that would have been Sunday. We were going to do the prizes after Oga's. And there was a time piece there. I was like, I'm going to go get some. I was starving. I don't know. I don't think I ate anything at Oga's. Yeah, so I was kind of hungry, so I'll go get like a popcorn. And then Wookiee cookie popped into my head, and I mobile ordered it. And it's like huge, and it's got, it's really good. So I definitely recommend that. That's over. What is that? That's the back.
It's over by the Incredibles area,
backstage, right? The backstage, where the burgers are.
Oh, Backlog Express?
Backlog
is that where
Express.
it is?
Yeah.
Well, you're right. It's the cookie. The Jack cookie is over in the Incredibles area.
One that surprised me. I can't believe I didn't know anything about this. You know, I love cinnamon buns, so that's always a priority. There was a Mickey Head cinnamon bun. There was a lady, cast member, out front of Starbucks when we walked in that Friday, and she's got this Mickey Head cinnamon bun. Like she needs to advertise it to me. I was like, I wanted to take it right off the plate from her, but
just saying, she gave you a real strong sales pitch that you just had to get one.
She came on hard strong, but I was like, you had me at cinnamon bun, lady. Don't even. And come to find out, Wendy and Noreen were ahead of us in the line,
right?
And they're like, we're messaging. The whole messenger thing is great. They're like, you guys ended up.
I'm in line. Do you want me to order one for you? I'm right here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, please. And so it got me my coffee. We just stood out there. That was fun. First, this was something I always wanted to do. And I'm so amazed that we actually pulled it off and that people took to it, which was kimonos karaoke. Because years ago at the conference, I always heard about the geeks there doing and having great fun and stories from kimonos karaoke. So that we actually pulled that off starting at 10 o'clock at night. I was on coffee. I did coffee all that night.
So that was a bucket list item because Anna, one of her questions was, beside the first time highlights, what else was bucket list items you've got completed on this trip?
Yeah, so that's definitely... That
was one.
I know, Anna, it was a great question. Kimonos was definitely a bucket list. Yeehaw Bob. Boy, I heard about Yeehaw Bob for years and years and years. And that's kind of a logistically tough one to do, especially if you're not staying there. I mean, to make the effort to get over there. And I was concerned coming out of Ohana's, would it be crowded? He gets a really good crowd. It just worked out. We just took over the place. Now, maybe it's a little bit of a downtime. I don't know, but I mean, it was relatively crowded.
We got there early. We did get there early.
It wasn't a complete accident that Glenn Kessler was on one of the first Ohana reservations that night.
So he can get it over early.
He got over there. But he didn't really, it's hard to reserve tables. You know how people come in and so that was a huge highlight. Everyone's talked about that. I mean, just little things, my bucket list things are not necessarily huge a lot of times. Like the tiramisu French toast. When I hear something on the podcast that someone says to me, I write it, I go back and write it down. That one always intrigued me over at the Trattoria Forno. So I was able to do that. And even the breakfast pizza, I had a slice of that too. So
did it live up to your expectations?
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I think that whole day I ate nothing but garbage.
The breakfast pizza, that's not garbage. That was all good, healthy stuff.
You're right. I take that back. The only good solid meal was a slice of breakfast pizza that whole day.
Pizza.
I ate that tiramisu French toast and some eggs on the side, and I don't think I ate another. Oh no, we had some snacks around the World Showcase, but I was gonna say I don't think I didn't have another meal until we were at Kimonos at 11 o'clock at night.
See what I'm talking about? Yeah, that was a crazy day.
Yeah,
for sure. Kite tails. I'd heard some rumors about people and it felt just like the other show they had, the nighttime show before COVID. And I saw it by myself. I kind of snuck over. It was weird. Sometimes I just all of a sudden be alone. It's like, what am I? It's a weird feeling when you're at G3 and you end up like walking around like, where is everybody? And I thought, ooh, kite tails. And I hopped over there. Really liked the music. I recorded it. So if you're on Patreon, you'll hear all that stuff. But I thought it was, of course I love Baloo and King Louie kites. I like kites.
So
anyway.
You saw the Jungle Book version.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was
right?
two. Yeah, I just heard that recently. So I did see, nailed that perfect. That was fantastic.
I like that too. That was a pleasant surprise, the kite tails.
I was the one pulling for it and I missed it. So that's also on my list for our next trip.
This is what I'm saying about must-dos. They're not easy to pull off, for sure. Harmonious was a big must-do bucket list to see that in its full. That was fantastic. Club Cool. The last time I went in October, I walked by, the line was just amazingly long. So to get to see Club Cool, I thought the drinks were better than even before. A lot of sweet drinks there.
Did you do that on Monday without me?
We might have. It wasn't very good. We didn't have any fun, Samantha.
I was like, wait a minute, that was on my list, and I didn't do that. When did that happen?
I'm going to give Nancy K, the one who I wrote down that one from. I did the Tennessee Lemonade at Regal Eagle, which is Jack Daniel's lemonade. Again, I'm not really a big whiskey drinks kind of person. I kind of like it on the rocks or straight. That was pretty, that hit the spot. Let me tell you guys, that was pretty good. I'm a fan now. So, the Mickey Philharmonic with the little things like the cocoa scene.
Right.
It's amazing how many new things you get to see. First time ever buying a Walt Disney World sweatshirt.
It was pretty cold that week, the second half of that week.
And the only reason I did is because that Saturday it was cold and I was underdressed.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of fun. Like we were seeing a bunch of geeks walking around the parks and the ladies took me shopping and helped me pick out that. I get so many compliments over that Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. I'm glad I picked the one I did.
It's a nice sweatshirt.
Nice.
People really like that. It's got like a rug. He's like a 70s shag rug on the front. And then I put the Skyliner pub crawl used to come up a lot. I was like, boy, that's Skyliner and pub crawl together. Two of my favorite things. So Wendy, you really did a great job with that event. I mean, I think people really had a good time. I mean, how many people have given me the feedback? Like that was one of their, both last time and this time, just how much fun. I'm so glad people really enjoyed that. So that was fantastic. My gosh. Okay. I whipped through them all. I'm pretty proud of my must do and bucket list items I did.
Right.
It's not easy.
No, it isn't. And there were so many people at G3. I think we're going to get into the exact stats later, but what were the crowds like and how could you navigate all those people in the parks when it's crowded?
Yeah. It wasn't it crazy crowded, guys? Like
it was
unexpectedly.
Right. I mean, how about the January leading up to this with that new coronavirus thing going on, first of all? And people, I was like, here we go again. Are you kidding me? Is Kevin not going to be able to make it? Is someone going to get sick? I mean, my brain didn't go that place, but afterwards I thought about it more. Like how we pulled this off and how many people were there. And it really is, I can't believe the crowds. And the revelation I had was the same one we had before COVID was there is no downtime at Disney World. Cause I can remember going, this is like the same time that conference was years ago when Margita and I used to go. She brought her sister. They would run into the parks and just do whatever they wanted to do. No lines. I mean, they were so ecstatic. They talked to me at night and go, oh my gosh, we did this, we did that. And it was just so easy. And so the crowds were just stacked. Now, the good thing about G3 was rides were not a priority for me anyway. But on the other hand, like at Magic Kingdom, again, mobbed. And then one of the, I'm not going to say who it was, but you guys all know, someone in our group had a DAS pass. She actually put me on the list and I was able to do a lot of rides in Magic Kingdom that time. So that's one ways we navigated through the things. The other way I navigate is I've got 100 of my family members in my party. So if there's a line at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train that goes like down to Dumbo, but I go, "Hey, how you doing?" And I just kind of sneak in, and I beat the.
We may or may not have used that tactic at Animal Kingdom one morning. we scooted our way around to the front of the crowd, and I was like, we're bound to know somebody in this crowd. So let's just give it a shot. And sure enough, we ran into the Austin family, and what's 2 more? They already got 6.
Good point.
One of the perks of having 100 friends in the parks at the same time. The geeks are really awesome at rope drop. I mean, we're experts. So it was really fun to have, everyone in the messenger group at 5 o'clock saying, we're doing rope drop. Except for that Kevin Curtis Allen guy who
I will defend him.
Me.
I was not in time for rope drop, but he should have been in time for rope drop.
The bus.
He was at the bus waiting for rope drop, and
all right, I'll give him a break.
Give him a pass.
Yeah, I mean, what's really fun, the crowd levels did not, like we've always talked about. If you have your strategies on how to beat the crowds, you can beat the crowds. And what was really fun is just the random meetups that were awesome. It didn't really matter that there were crowds. We had our crowd was able to do. I don't think we got blocked. Nothing went wrong for our crowd that I could say.
Only one time did a cast member get angry with us outside Tortuga Tavern.
Yes, that's true.
We were blocking the exit.
We were blocking an exit of some sort that they got a little annoyed with us. I guess the security was watching us take our picture at Epcot, so we'll have to maybe think about that if our crowd gets a little bigger. But that was
the cast members actually embraced it more than were annoyed. I know when we were doing the Quest for Geek and Glory, and I had to ask cast members for help, and I was like, they were like, show me what it is, and I was showing them the scavenger hunt, and they were like all over it. I mean, they would like take one and offer to help, and they were really, really great as far as just love the idea. And the day that we had the picture taken, when we were all wearing our lanyards with the names on them, I think when we were going into the Mexico Pavilion, one of the cast members was like reading each one and talking to each person about it. I think a lot of the cast members, they really embraced it, really.
That's so cool.
I think so too. And even the cast members that helped us with dining, they were all very receptive and did everything they could to accommodate us in such a large group.
Yeah, I think we're pretty polite for the most part. So
yeah, absolutely. So, Kurt, I know you talked about the planning and the resorts and the food, but Dan Austin wanted to know, what was the unexpected moment that you enjoyed the most at G3?
This is a great question. Love this. Hope I got some good answers. The first one, and what maybe one of the best moments of the whole thing, was Michael's hug in Ratatouille. That was early. That was really before the official kickoff too, right? Wasn't that, guys?
Yeah, that was Wednesday. They had just gotten in.
Okay, so they had just gotten in. I knew because of the Facebook Messenger there was a crew coming off of Ratatouille, so I was on the lookout for you guys. And I don't remember who it was in the crowd, because Ratatouille, in that space, in that long entryway into the ride, you got the creperie on the right hand side, and just there's a nice little boulevard there, and I was just kind of goofing off, like running to you guys, like like that scene in 10, I think, with Bo Derek kind of thing. A little bit, not like I can't run that much, but anyways. And I could see some of maybe Andy Hoffman. I'm trying to remember who I could really see. Maybe Tony Ann. But out of nowhere, Michael comes into a trot and meets me halfway and gives me the most amazing bear hug. And the thing that's so special about that for me is that, well, he's a superstar in our group, first of all, so it's nice to be popular with the superstars. Mm-hmm. But I just have an affinity. I always had, I can remember forever, first of all with kids, but I would say also with kids with disabilities. I think of, not Michael's disability isn't Down syndrome, but I always think of Down syndrome kids. I had some, that they're just always so happy, even though they have a disability. It always tugs at my heartstrings, to be honest with you. So that hug, and that someone actually captured the picture too of him putting his head on my shoulder. I was like, all right, where is this G3 going? Because I'm already losing it. It's like, this was amazing. So that was a huge moment for me. Yeah. So that was a big one. I had a yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Holly Drew Finch wanted to know the day that we had the picture taken at Epcot. Right before the picture taken, you looked around and there was quite a few people that were wearing American flag swimsuits. And she wants to know what was going through your mind when you saw a sea of American flag swimsuits coming at you.
Oh my gosh. Seeing all you guys all in one place gets emotional for me anyway, because I know everybody. My experience is a little bit unique for everybody because I've interviewed so many people on the podcast. I've got to know them either through that virtual or now several years of seeing people in person and knowing what you guys mean to me. And then you throw in I love it when people say things back to me about the podcast, something that they remember and little stories that have stuck in their mind. But to see the USA swimsuits, which is oh my gosh, I laughed and cried at the same time for the first time in my life. And then Glenn tugs me on the shoulder, who I had spent the same hotel room that previous night. And I don't know how he did it. Well, if I take it back too, Deirdre almost spoiled it to me when we were walking in through the International Gateway and we were showing our bags. I looked in her bag and I saw a USA flag there. And how would I ever put this together? I just thought she was patriotic. I thought, I don't know, handkerchief or something. It just went right over my head. So I was punked, full on, full time. I'm very gullible anyway. But when Glenn did the Chippendale ripoff or basketball short sweatpants and he's got the swim trunks on. I mean, that scene from 2019 when Dave Castro borrowed my swim trunks has become legend. Has always cracked me up anyway because of the Seinfeld thing. So it's just a funny, I don't know why it cracks me up. I always loved that scene from Seinfeld. And it kind of resonated with the audience too. And quite honestly, I never wore those trunks. I have never worn my swim trunks, the USA ones, until this trip too. I ended up later that trip wearing it in the hot tub with Andy. But I mean, that whole thing, the amount of effort that you guys put in to do it, I think I wrote down, it's like 24 of you were wearing USA swim trunks. And some were, I don't know, questionable. Some were half Union Jack and half, some were leggings actually, to be honest with you. But anyway, the effort put out by you guys and just seeing you guys coming, the way you were strolling in, oh my gosh. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that moment. That was legendary.
All right. Any other unexpected moments?
So, it's funny. I wasn't thinking about this, but a lot of times when I go down, I'll run into listeners and just random. And I only ran into one that was not part of the group, but it was kind of a fun one at the Polynesian. I think Sam, you and Rebecca, who else was with us? It was when we were at the Polynesian. It was before Ohana, I think. Were you there?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys were pin trading or walking around the shops and stuff.
Right.
And
we were, yes.
I just went and sat down. Now, her name is Dawn Maher. And I think she must have known somehow that I was going to be at the Polynesian, maybe for the Ohana dinner. I'm not sure it was from the podcast or how she knew. But her and her husband were there and she came over. She was wearing a Geekin shirt too. And she very specifically sought me out to get a picture with me and give me a hug and stuff. And so that always, that never gets old. I love that. They're always so positive and they're excited and it's exciting. It's exciting for both of us. So I thought that was really fun. So thank you, Dawn. That was a fun, unexpected moment. Usually I get a couple more than that. So it was interesting. I think a lot of the people that came were actually with our group, which maybe says something too. A couple others. Talking about those random moments we've all been talking about. I don't know. I had this at the pedals one night where I made it a point. You guys were doing probably something really fun and exciting, but I had a bottle of Elijah Craig's small batch bourbon that was calling my name. And also I had Ashley and Brandon and I think Lauren Hawkins. I think it was Danielle Johnson was with us too, if I'm getting that right. But we did a pretty good damage on a bottle of bourbon, just sitting out there having a nice chat. So
poor Glenn, I think, put in the request for that brand and never saw it.
You snooze, you lose.
Yeah. I told him I got it for him, but sorry, in a moment of weakness, Glenn, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. But I had a couple of good friends that really helped me polish that off. Chris Futrell got a little bit of the last. I gave it to him as we left. So again, those moments to just sit and chill and have some fun. The last thing I'll say, and this, I wanted to mention this one too, because this is a theme that comes up a lot. And I talk about this, that I always want us to think about this, but hope she doesn't mind mentioning her name. I'm sure she doesn't. But Nancy Patterson actually was right at the Geek Meet on Saturday, the big picture. Got to see her husband, her little son, Oliver. And she tearfully came up to me and was just thanking me for the podcast, talking about how she had a really tough year during this COVID time. You know, a lot of people have come up to me, not just Nancy, but others, about this tough year of anxiety and depression, which I have a soft spot for. My family, I've got it in my family DNA and have dealt with this with family members. And so I'm really in tune to this. And she was talking, you guys know, she's never been to Magic Kingdom before. And she was saying how, and her husband was right there. She's like, your podcast just inspired my family to take me down to Disney World so I could, something that I've always wanted to do my whole life and never done. And that's what she greeted with me during that. I don't know if you guys knew this, but that's what she told me. Like right after the USA Shorts swimsuits incident. I mean, how many times is my mind gonna be blown?
It's a real roller coaster of emotions, too. Right.
Thank you, Samantha. That's the best way to describe it. And, you know, I had a couple of people with feedback like that too in the past. So thank you for that. So those are some of my top unexpected moments.
Well, you're talking about all the people that you met, both longtime listeners and new. Do you have any stats on who came, how many people, what was done? I know you're a numbers guy.
Yeah, I had some fun with this. So I put I think I'm right. 94, the accounting firm of
Kurt Stone.
Yeah, Kurt Stone is not very good probably, but I put down 94 in the Epcot picture, which we had talked about 100 people. So not everyone was actually in the picture. So I think we were around that 100 mark. Of course, I always count geeks that are pure listeners. And so I put down that I met 74 geeks, and that broke my record of 64. It's probably closer to 75. If I really search, I'm sure there was. But anyways, that I was really happy with that. And then I noticed 31 I met for the very first time. So like almost half, a third were first timers, which was really cool. 75 people at a dessert party. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but to get 75 people at a dessert party was I didn't think we could do it. We had 27 flat Stanleys, which is fun. Those pictures of people that couldn't be there. Thanks to Karen for doing that. $312 saved or given to kids, Give Kids the World. 33, I was starting to think of this because I was looking at doing the roundtables and trying to, when you got 100 people that were there, how do you pick and do the roundtables? It's not an easy logistic thing. But 33 of the 67 Patreon supporters were at G3, so like half. Yeah, and then I asked Samantha, the ADRs, how many people did we have? What was kind of the most ADRs we had for the geeks? And you had 67 at Trattoria Al Forno for breakfast and 62 at Olga's. Make sure I don't say Olga's. The wine started.
The thing about that amazes me the most is I know as we were talking about it, we're like, oh, we're going to be the only people in this restaurant. Like how many more than 70 people could they possibly fit? Yeah. And we were like half.
Yeah, it was a big restaurant, bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't remember it being that big. They had the second room too.
Yeah.
I didn't know about. It's not that big, but still. I was glad I could still get up and walk around and say hi to everybody at that. So those are some of my stats.
All right. Well, with all the things you did, all the restaurants you went to, all the resorts you stayed at, all the events that happened, all the new experiences, what about regrets? Do you have any regrets that you didn't do on G3 that you wish you did?
Are you getting to the end? Because I got more stuff that you had questions for.
We have more after this, but
Okay.
You add it whenever you want. It's your trip report.
All right. So regrets. I regret I didn't do the VIP tour. So I was asked about it, but I was a little nervous about I said this, I think earlier. I was a little budget worried for this G3. And so I did pass on that. I think, of course, hearing everyone having such an amazing time. I didn't realize 30 people were going on that VIP tour either. I figured 10. I didn't realize it was 3 times that. But yeah, so I missed that, but there's something I'll try to make a priority next time. I'm really regret that I missed Sangria University. I don't know how I missed that.
That's on the schedule for next time. Don't worry. I've penciled it into the list of events.
So that sounded like a lot of fun. I would have liked to have done that. I'm not sure how that got in my how that didn't get on my spreadsheet, Samantha. And then I'm still not in the Solo Ladies Club, but Travis and Andy are. So,
that's a regret of yours. Is it the fact that you're not in it or that they're in it?
A little bit of both, I think. I've forgotten about it, but now they reminded me of it. I tease about that. I'm actually really proud that there's little clubs that people can, connect with each other. So that, of course, Travis and Andy won't stop teasing me about it, but.
Well, Samantha will have to come clean one of these days.
No, I got to take it to the grave. What stays in the Solo Ladies group? What happens in the Solo Ladies group stays in the Solo Ladies group.
I'm okay not being in it. I don't need another club. I
can't believe that made it to the regrets. I mean, I can understand the VIP tour. And I can understand
it's a very exclusive membership, okay? Why people got a wait list going for that one?
I'm surprised at that.
See that?
So
it turns out we plan a mean Disney trip. So everybody wants to be in our club.
We do, absolutely. So I have a whole bunch of questions from the geeks. Do you want their kind of silliness questions now? Are you ready for those?
Yeah, actually I had one. The Amy Beckner one wants to know how to retain the small family.
Oh, I was going to come back to that, but okay.
Okay, go either way. I just want to, I had.
All right. Well, you mentioned Amy, so let's start with her. There were some podcast related ones, and Amy Beckner did want to know how we can retain the small family feel as the podcast audience continues to grow.
Yeah, it's funny how that was a question I was starting to have as I was experiencing this. And it was interesting how Tony Ann walked up to me at the Dolly Lounge that night and snuck up from behind me and was like, what are we going to do if this grows? So it's funny that Amy asked that question. I've given this some deep thought, guys, but I'm actually reading a book, which I can't believe I haven't read before, because I like reading like self-help kind of books. And there's a book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But he was talking about mission statements and he was talking about how leadership is so important, even more than management. And he was talking about, one of the stories he talked about was like a hotel that he went to, and he was really surprised at their service and how everybody was attentive to his needs. And I think about the same thing with Disney World. We think about the culture that is in Disney World and how all these people, from whether it's the person picking up garbage or the cleaning person or a cast member, like you guys are talking about, just how the service is just in their culture. And Glenn talked about this with our group, in that we have a culture in our group that's come out of, I guess I'm the leader by default. So I have to own that sometimes. But we have so many people that are also leaders too that help me with this. But it's the way that we carry ourselves, the way the Facebook group is, the way I talk on the podcast, the way we carry ourselves. And that really builds a culture. And you guys always help me with this stuff. And then I talked about, it was one thing I was really proud of during the Zoom meeting. I only mentioned it a couple of times. I said, I'm really an introverted person. I know a lot of us that came to G3 before are introverted. You feel a little bit uncomfortable meeting internet strangers for the first time, right, Sam? So I have those, I feel the same way. It happened to me in the past when I was a part of a big group. And so I only mentioned it a couple of times. I was really proud of you guys that are leaders in the group. I saw Samantha doing it, for instance, with, I think it was Susan Bankston at the Nomad Lounge when she came, and she had never been a part of the group, and made an immediate beeline to her out of this group of 40 people to make her feel comfortable. It happened at the Pedals Lounge. Some of the folks have talked about this. So I did say it out loud, but you guys took it to heart and really did that. So I guess I'm taking a long time to say, if we, really keep that culture, I don't think we have to worry about the size. I think things will work out.
Okay. Well, talking about the size of the podcast kind of leads into, is there going to be a next G3? Jeff Kessler wants to know, if there is one, could Margita and Lindsay please go?
I know.
And Dan Austin wants to know if G3 is what you envisioned it would be, and what's the next level for the next G3?
Oh my gosh. No, Margita's had some tough times. Lindsay's been busy with work. They're actually planning a trip for the mother-daughter thing coming up. It's kind of a budget thing too, and it's some things that Margita's been having to tend to with her mom and her sister too. So you guys all know about that. So I missed not having Margita there, and I would love to have Lindsay there. I think she's starting to get into a place where she can actually possibly go. I'm starting to work on them. I'm working on it, guys. I'll do my best.
Lindsay could really be in our solo ladies group.
She could.
I know it.
We would take her under our wing for sure.
But
all right.
Dan asks if G3 is what I envision it to be, and what's the next level. This was a turning point. This trip to me, I talked about the group I was a part of years ago with the Lotus Sphere geeks. And the thing about that group was there was a core group of people that met year after year and made friends, but they were always very welcoming to new people that came in. And that was a dynamic that happened this time, where we had that core group that had been together, like you guys and the planning group. But then we had the 31 new people coming on to experience it for the first time. So that to me was like the first time that dynamic happened. And that kind of took this event up the next level notch anyway. What's the next? I mean, God, who knows, right? I mean, but I think from talking to other people that do events like this, if people have a good experience, they tell others, and people watch from the outside will come. And if the people that came before come, yeah, it could grow. But a couple of takeaways that came out of this, we've talked about this a little bit, and we'll do more of this, like reviewing what happened. But more geek meetups in larger spaces. We talked about maybe the Dolphin Lobby, for instance, as an example, or the Riviera Courtyard Glenn talked about. There are places where I would love to do like a meetup, again, maybe a bigger meetup at the beginning of the event, and then maybe a closing event. Because, I remember I said bye to Travis after his traumatic time on the Tower of Terror, but I was like the only one saying goodbye to him. I felt special, but it would have been nice as a group to have kind of a final meetup. So that was one of my thoughts. And we talked about this, the lounge meetups were, again, an opportunity to have those small plates and to have a few drinks and hang out. The top of the world, of course, wasn't open this time. That's a great spot. We discovered the Dahlia Lounge, and maybe there's others. So.
Well, Dan also wanted to know if, besides the regional meetups, by the way, there will be an Albany meetup this summer. So everyone is invited, and we will get more details on that as it gets closer. But he wants to know if you'd ever consider having G3 at a different location, like Disneyland or Disney Cruise or Alani.
Oh, you missed the one that keeps coming up.
Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris.
Well, the person that lives closer to Disneyland Paris refuses to go to Disneyland Paris. So,
Okay.
I don't know that it would be so worth it.
I'm not listening to him. I'm ignoring him. It's funny because this crossed my mind. You know where the spark started? Were you guys in line with me when?
Yes, we were in line for the Tower of Terror.
You guys just remember
Jeannie's Journeys.
Right.
That's where the spark
A travel agent, yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about tours that she does, regionally in her area. Was it Minnesota, I want to say she was from? But of course, this was all during COVID. This was last year during COVID. But she was down there for a conference. And so these little tours really perked my ear. And then I was thinking I'd always wanted to go to Europe. So, of course, Disneyland Paris, and like a little tour that would actually hit. I know Margita would be interested too in seeing London and maybe some of the Beatles areas. Of course, we got Kevin Curtis Allen. I'd love to go. It'd be a hoot to go to the Isle of Wight. And I think of this.
Imagine taking 100 geeks to the Isle of Wight.
It would never be the same again.
We think Disney World can't handle us.
I wasn't thinking that big yet, Samantha, but thanks for your being a big dreamer.
You know me. My bucket list items are big items.
Oh, my gosh. I remember watching the Beatles have this anthology, and they talk about the Magical Mystery Tour. They all loaded up on a bus. It was actually part of a movie and an album they did. And I think of that scene of all of my friends getting on a bus and touring Europe. I mean, that's one of the things. And I don't know how long. Yeah. So that is one. If I take a big dream, like I didn't think we could do the dessert party, but we did it. That is one of the things that's definitely crossing my mind. And Margita's never been to Disneyland either. So that's another one on the list that I'd like to. I wouldn't call it G3 though. G3 is Disney World. I would call it a geek meet though.
Okay. So is that on the bucket list for 2023?
I haven't put a date on those yet. I think they're all just being thought of.
You get Samantha and Rebecca out there, and they look at this spreadsheet. Things will start happening if there's dates
Don't
involved.
threaten us with a trip to plan.
I'll tell you, it's true. It's that's how these things happen. They happen pretty organically. A word gets out there, and people start marching towards it.
So one of the things I said was we had a little geek silliness. I had asked questions on Facebook, and some of these are very serious questions, which you have answered some of them, and some of them are a little more tongue-in-cheek. Daniel wants to know if you shed a tear of joy when listening to Disney on Broadway with the Gingers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching this performance. I'm going, my mouth is like, my jaw is open. Like, these guys are fantastic. And I look over at the Gingers, especially Norma, and she's like bawling. Now, yes, I shed a tear at the Disney on Broadway, and I'm okay with, I'm a big guy. I mean, I'm okay with saying I got emotional at Disney on Broadway. I don't care.
All right, so and Trey Nolan, who by the way, this was his first G3. We all were excited to get to know him. He wants to know if the Geekin' on Walt Disney World intro that we recorded in my hotel room on Thursday night of G3 was the best intro ever recorded in the history of podcasting.
Well, Trey, you're going to have to wait to that answer, because I don't think I've gotten through all of the intros that were done at G3 yet. But I plan to do it. It's in the planning for this week, because in the Patreon release, I'm going to do some of the bloopers. And I know that Wendy shared in line at the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train the day after. I was trying to listen to them in line off of her phone, but they're absolutely hysterical. And so I really appreciate you guys doing those. I'll let you know, Trey, if it's the best one. I'll try to be as honest. Although I got 2 new ones come in this week that were pretty good, and one's got James on it. So you got some competition.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll take the loss to James.
Yeah, the cute level is
the
cute factor is way up there, dude. So
yeah.
This isn't one of them, but do you know how many intros you received from G3?
Legit ones?
Those are legit.
Not counting the mistakes.
What did you say?
We had 2 legit ones that I submitted to you.
I want to say
Okay.
4. I got to go back. I know Glenn. I think Glenn sent me a couple.
It has to be more than that. I think
Wendy
we did
sent
one
me a
at
couple.
Dahlia Lounge. We
I
did the
think-
Sangria University one. We did
Right.
the one in your room.
Did you do
got
3?
at least one from Oga's.
Really? All right. I got to make sure. You guys will have to keep me honest. I got to go back and review them all.
All right. So, Trey, we're saying that the best intro ever recorded is to be determined. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. TBA right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Hope to know this week,
Marissa Martin wants to know if you've reached influencer status from Disney since you are now one of the top podcasts on iTunes.
No.
So say we didn't see him on board the Galactic Star Cruiser.
No.
So I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Did you get your invite for the 4-hour Galactic Star Cruiser Media Day yesterday or 2 days
No,
ago?
Talking about bucket list, that's always been, I don't know, again, the technical conference has always had influencers back then. They use a lot of social media people. Disney just has so many. The audience in the social media is so much bigger than it ever was. It's quite I'm sure it's a hard thing to get. I haven't made an attempt or whatever you have to do to get on that. I mean, it would be great if it's something I got to mix with because I love my audience. I love the size. I love everything about the podcast in the community that's built there. So this doesn't really matter to me at all, but it'd be kind of nice. I mean, in a way, if to be recognized in that way, sure, it would be nice, but I'm quite satisfied with the current standing and situation of my podcast. I can tell you without reservation.
All right. This next question you have to think about before you answer because Samantha is sitting right next to me. But Samantha wants to know who your favorite geek is after the G3 trip and why isn't it Samantha Kuhn?
This is so funny because I tease with this. I'm kind of a jokester. I'm kind of a sarcastic person, and I say this. I talked about the Albany meetup when Rob filled my cooler with beer. I was like, Rob, you are my favorite listener right now and geek. And I meant it from my heart. The community.
And then Holly and Heidi got the honor after they gave you their Oga's reservation.
I was with in October, I was on a trip with my son's father-in-law. My father-in-law. I kind of showed off a little bit when I wanted to do the Oga's. I didn't get a reservation for him. I waited way too long. And then Heidi and Holly actually gave up their reservation that morning to me, and I was able to go at like a perfect time, 11 o'clock. So then, so then they were my favorite geek at the moment for sure. I mean, that was really cool. I mean, I totally teased. I said Glenn was my favorite because he gave.
I was going to say, and then Glenn moved up the ladder.
Well, he had the room at the Riviera. For
Glenn
all those
gave me
nights,
the room at the Riviera. I mean, that's just like. I mean, I tease about this because the community is just so generous to me. I mean, I'm totally tongue in cheek with this because you guys are, how do you pick your favorite? You guys are just all so awesome.
So it wouldn't be a podcast without ending with the Fox family tradition of what is your favorite memory or memories of the trip that will stay with you?
Ooh. Wow, this is tough. I remember when I had Kevin alone for a minute when we were at G3, and he certainly had a pretty good trip, right? With it being his birthday and the generosity he received from the community and attention he received. So, he looked at me, he had no words. And Kevin, I mean, he had 2 hours worth of words during his trip report, I can tell you. He said it all with his facial expression to me. It's like, your mouth just opens like, how can you explain this to anybody? It's unbelievable. But I'm going to pick my favorite. Wendy asked the question. It's hard to do. And I'm going to pick the fireworks party. And the reason I'm picking that one is because it was something in the back of my mind. Wouldn't it be cool one day? Because I've been to a lot of these social events where they're corporate events, or of course we've all been to the fireworks parties that you pay into and you're with a bunch of strangers. But you get that perfect viewing of the fireworks, especially in Epcot. I love Epcot and the World Showcase. I'd been to some there with people that I didn't really know that well. And that when it came up as an idea, how Tony Ann and Mandy Ray actually ran with that. And I didn't think we could pull it off. And they were pretty confident that they could get 75 people. I mean, they did the work and the logistics of calling Disney World. And we had made several attempts, right, Wendy? I think even you had talked to Disney even the year before, maybe about the one over at Hollywood
Studios. About a meeting space, right. About trying to get a meeting
and
space.
And the expense is just astronomical. You got to put the money up front, basically, which makes me nervous, laying out, having the community lay out a bunch of money, which you can't get back. If I remember it, it's like, and then with all the COVID and stuff, I mean, yeah, this was a risk. I mean, to me, I'm not really a risky. I don't like to take risks. And so when they had this working and it looked like it was all going to happen, and then you add in the birthday party aspect with Kevin Curtis Allen and the emotional with, I mean, I know Tony Ann's emotional. She had that beautiful dress with the mini dress. And her husband shows up with her son, which we've never met really before and haven't really been as much part of the community. The location, everyone having such a good time. Again, the generosity of the community giving to Kevin and to Tony Ann. But I'm just sitting back. I was sitting up on an area there on a ledge or whatever with Bubba and Jeff Opolka, just watching everyone interact. I mean, you got a dance party going on over here with Glenn and Andy and whoever, just like grown men, like.
And then on the opposite end, you had a dance party with the children.
I heard about, I don't know that I noticed so much, but I had feedback about the kids really connecting and having a great time together. And first time seeing those fireworks for the first time. I mean, I couldn't have imagined it. I didn't imagine it that way. I mean, how could you? I had no idea. I just had this thought of, wouldn't it be cool if I had a community and we did, the private viewing fireworks party. So there were so many great memories, but that one kind of eclipses the whole event right there. It's like all in that package. 75 friends, really who adore each other, watching an amazing fireworks. I don't even know. The fireworks are fantastic. The program is fantastic. Were. So, yeah, that's the one I'm taking away, guys.
All right. Anything we didn't cover that you wanted to add?
Again, I want to thank some people. So, again, Samantha, Rebecca, Wendy, you guys, oh my gosh. For doing this, for Wendy sharing her room. Samantha, we talked about all the things that you guys did with the ADRs. You guys are just amazing. Got to thank Chris Futrell, Glenn Kessler for sharing their room, being good sports about all my jokes about Dumb and Dumber hot tub references, planes, trains, and automobiles, the bed scene. Chris said he was starting to say, it's getting a little weird with that heart-shaped tub references, but it was starting to creep him out a little bit. But that was all fun. Deirdre Watts, I got to thank her for meeting me at the airport in the limo ride to the sorority house, and she also
worked out a lot better than when I met you, right, Kurt?
Yeah, so you learn something new every trip, right, Wendy?
There you go.
You try to improve on your experience. But she also got me a memory card that I forgot at home. Of all the things, I had a list of things not to forget, and I forgot my memory card for my recording. So she went right on Instacart, and that same day they delivered it at Polynesian when we were there. So that was cool. I didn't miss a beat. With that, Deidre hung out with me a lot too when I didn't have a friend. When I was all alone. The planners, Auntie Judy, Tony Ann, Mandy Ray Malinowski, Glenn Kessler, Jackie and Selena, Karen Daves, and all the geeks who donated prizes like Judy and Glenn and Tony Ann, Wendy, of course, Tony Ann, Dave, the podcasters that were there from Mickey Files, the Disney Crush podcast with Tony Ann and Dave, even my DVC points. I got to meet some of those folks too. Chad, and Gina. Maureen Parker gave away stuff. Samantha did some kid stuff, although we had more prizes than kids, I think. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? Amazing community.
Awesome. All right. Well, now that G3's passed, it's time to start planning next G3, right? So we'll have to move our Wednesday night Zoom calls to talking about this past G3 to now start saying, hey, when would be a good time to do this again?
Yeah.
Right?
What's up next? I'm excited. I'm coming to New York City. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys soon, end of March.
Yes. I'm excited for that too.
Yeah. Lindsay's really big. She's a total geek about Phantom of the Opera. She's going to see 3 performances. This is inspired by her wanting to go to New York City. I'm so glad when I said, I noticed that the Allman Brothers were playing at the Beacon Theater, which is something I always wanted to do. But then I was like, wait a minute, Greg Allman has passed. How are they doing the Allman Brothers? Come to find out, it's a cover band. And Samantha was like, I'll go with you. Like, awesome. So just making arrangements for that. And I was like, I've always wanted to do like a Broadway show that was Disney related. So we're going to do Aladdin. And Wendy and your husband are coming to John, and John's into the Allman Brothers, I think, too. So me and John are going to be.
Yeah, he's into music. He plays the guitar, and he can. Like I said, can you play their songs? He goes, of course. So
I love that.
Yeah,
and I'm going to study really hard.
And Samantha, I'm going to give you some YouTube videos. I want you to be knowing the words.
Okay.
You got 4 weeks. I don't know what it is. End of March, we're going to be going to see the Allman Brothers at the Beacon Theater. We're going to see Aladdin. Mm-hmm. I got a little surprise. Trey Nolan is flying in from, where's he coming from?
Well, he's flying out of Atlanta, but he lives in Alabama.
Yeah. All right. So that's exciting. And
it's not too late for anyone else to join. It's still a month away.
That's right. And cousin Heather, who I've never met before in person, is going.
I'm still not over that you've never met her before.
Right? I mean,
she's your cousin. You didn't have family gatherings together?
Cousin in name only, but yeah. So I'm excited to meet Heather too. Ooh. And we'll have some fun. We'll be down. Yeah, it's exciting for all the geek meets that are popping up. There's one in Boston being planned. I think summertime. You got Albany and Ohio's got a crew that's got chat going on. Of course, Glenn's got his Maryland crew. So, but then we've got a plan for the next G3. I've got some ideas. It sounds like it's starting to come together, but I'm not going to say anything right now.
Oh, we'll have to find out off air.
Okay.
We'll have to start pumping Kurt for information.
Got a whole book of notes over here, so I'm ready. Just tell me when.
Awesome.
So kick into gear.
Thank you guys for hanging out with me for brunch on a Sunday.
Oh, happy to do it. We've had our champagne while we made our mimosas, and we were having our champagne while we were recording.
I wish we could have done it in person. That's 3 times in a row, I think, that we had to. I missed like one when I was sick. Missed this one.
Yeah.
We'll make up for it.
Yeah.
We'll make up for it. So, all right. Goodbye, Kurt. It was good talking to you, and hopefully we'll see you on Zoom. And in a month, we'll see you in person.
Thanks, guys. You're awesome.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Well, Wendy and Samantha did a great job interviewing me. I had a real fun time interviewing Wendy. She just got back from a trip, a really cool trip too. And I'm going to get it out there next week in the podcast feed. I got to do it quickly because I'm going to do a long weekend in New York City. And I really want to get this one out to you guys because she did the new Disney Star Cruiser down at Disney World. So I know you all want to hear about that. So I'm going to skip ahead some of the other trip reports and roundtables I've got still to get to you that I've recorded, but I know you'd all want to hear about Wendy's experience at the Star Cruiser. So look forward to that next week. I'm going to be spending some time with Wendy and Samantha and Wendy's husband, John. I think Rebecca's going to spend a little time. My daughter, Lindsay, and I are going to New York City, going to see some Broadway shows and hang around in the city a little bit. I'm looking forward to that and catch a concert over at the Beacon Theater too. So really fun times coming up. Another geek meet. Speaking of a geek meet, how about that one in Denver with Lauren Hawkins and Tori Hunt? Fantastic intro. Messed it up a little bit, guys, but that's okay. Worked for me. Definitely make it fun. Tell us your name, where you're from, some fun Disney World facts about yourself. And if you're at a geek meet, even better. Tell us you're going geeking on Walt Disney World with Curtis and the whole Geekin family. Email them to me at kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com. Last week I put a challenge out there. Now, Lauren didn't even know about the challenge. She hadn't listened to the episode yet. And she already has a bunch of the swag. So I figure if someone sends me in an intro and you've never sent one in before, I'm going to send you a charcuterie board. The Geekin charcuterie board, the one that I gave away at the Grand Geekin Gathering. So the challenge is still out there. Second week in a row. Didn't get one from anyone. So get that intro into me and you'll win the charcuterie board. Hey, one shout out. Doreen Cleary. This was really fun. She sent me in an email. She says, just back from Disney and had a quick comment. I believe it was Saturday during our downpour. I went to the Mara at Jumbo House. It's over at Animal Kingdom. And on the pathway, someone was either FaceTiming or had a person on the speakerphone. And it was Auntie Judy's voice. I believe she was giving this person a suggestion on a reservation. And she says, I just had to giggle to myself since the only way I know this voice is through the podcast. Doreen, we got a big laugh. I teased Mom and Judy. I sent them a text message saying, like, heard from a listener and they had something to say about Judy. And Judy first said, well, she was wondering if she did something wrong. But no, then I had to call Judy and tell her about this. And she remembered it. She was speaking with the Castros, our good friends, the Castros. They have the cute little kids and they were over at Boma for breakfast and they were not talking about a reservation. I don't believe they were just sharing some time with Judy, showing her their walk out back there. You know how when you go behind Animal Kingdom, when you gotta kind of go outside to go to the Mara. So they were just sharing their experiences they were going through there. So Claudia was on the phone with Auntie Judy and that's what it was, but kind of cool. A listener eavesdropped in on that conversation. That was really fun to listen to. So thank you for sending that in, Doreen. I really appreciate that. If you guys ever have some fun geek meets or experiences, I love to hear about them. And you can hear about some of my experiences. I've been putting them extra podcast episodes. I call it the Inner Circle, and you got to be a Patreon member. That's a website you can go to, patreon.com. You can pledge a monthly donation to our show. There's an annual choice. And besides me thanking you so much for being a Patreon supporter, you'll get bonus episodes. This week, our time at Yeehaw Bob. Yeah, it's a long one. I think it's 90 minutes of Yeehaw Bob. It's a bootleg. It's not from the soundboard of Yeehaw Bob. It's just a lot of geeks having fun, clapping and singing and just having a real good time. If you've never heard Yeehaw Bob, I don't know this recording is the best way to hear Yeehaw Bob, but that was a lot of fun. You've heard us in the roundtables talking about that experience. Well, it's all been recorded and out there in my private Inner Circle podcast that I put out through patreon.com. So go join and be a supporting member there. And I really thank you, all you that do that for me. Thank you so much. Thanks for supporting Mom and Judy and their trip planning business. Judy was telling me they had a really good week last week. So thank you so much, everyone I think people just want to get back on vacation and going down to Disney World. So thank you so much for supporting Mom and Judy, the Traveling Tiaras. Again, email them at travelingtiaras@gmail.com. And sorry I haven't had them on the show lately. There's some things going on. Margita's got a mom who is having some medical issues right now. And it's really the reason that I've not had them on lately. So if you know Margita really well, just keep her in your prayers and we'll have them back on as soon as I can. But we are planning a trip to Disney World. So we're going to be down there June 4th through the 13th. Judy's 50th anniversary with Ken, wedding anniversary. We'll be staying at the Bay Lake Tower in the Riviera. Definitely tap us on the shoulder. Let us know if you're going to be there. I might get a little messenger group going or anything I can do to say hi to you guys. We love to see you when we're down in the parks. So definitely, if you're going to be there June 4th through the 13th, say hi to us. We love helping you make that Disney World vacation the best that it possibly can be. Just reach out to us. If you'd like to do a trip report, book a trip with the Traveling Tiaras, kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com. Thanks for going geeking on Walt Disney World with us. We really appreciate you listening and geeking with us every single day. We love you geeks. Have a magical day, and I hope all your dreams come true. by me?
I am. Do you want me to?
I was waiting to see if you were going to just hang up.
Or no, I feel bad.
You can just hang up. There's always chit chat.